Right, hello and welcome to the All Japan GT Car Championship, a very special event that comes up every once in a while. It's Gran Turismo 7 and an event you want to use as much as possible while it's around, because this is a special event that comes with the weekly challenges. And this week, well, we have it, and these are a few cars that you should really consider trying out around this event. So first off, we have the Nissan Skyline R32 GTR. Now this is not the Turismo variant but the standard R32 GTR. Now this vehicle, you get it fully upgraded and it is almost unstoppable. The vehicle will produce 872 brake horsepower, coming at a weight of 1200 kgs, and just be an absolute weapon. On a serious note, this vehicle can participate in hypercar parade with absolute ease. That's how good this vehicle is, because we see this week's All Japan GT Car Championship, we are going around autopilot circuit. So we see that the GTR coming down the main straightaway travels over 310 kilometers per hour before you need to slam on the brakes. Now what I love about the GTR is just the fact that you can slam on the brakes, it's gonna slow down immediately. With it being all-wheel drive and the way the vehicle sets up, it is super planted, super grippy, and yes, you can have moments where you can push the vehicle to get a four-wheel slide out of it, but if you want to be serious and set fast, consistent lap times, this is your go-to vehicle. What I love about it is, with this event, you can use a standard street car because there's no fuel consumption applied to this event, which means you can just use fully maxed out vehicles that you don't really have anywhere else to use. And I mean, this GTR is capable of reaching first position quite quickly with this event. And I mean, we are racing against vehicles that are group 3 as well as group 2 cars in this event, and somehow the little R32 is an absolute weapon. We see by the third lap we are gonna be in first position. So it's an 8-lap event which will take you roughly under 15 minutes to complete. If you take anything over 15 minutes, you are taking a bit long, because you can absolutely bang this event out as quickly as possible. And with this event, there is no restrictions when it comes to what vehicle you can use. You can use whatever vehicle you want, and that includes a Dodge Sumo Vision GT. But for me personally, I'm not a fan of that. I would much rather use a vehicle that's period correct, just like my Nissan R32 GTR. The GTR for me is just the ideal go-to street car if you want to complete this event, still be period correct, and just have an absolute blast, no stress, and just have fun and stretch a classics leg. Now, a vehicle that is also insanely good is the Porsche 959. Now, I know a lot of people are a bit like, it's an All Japan GT Championship, but I feel like I can throw the Porsche in here because I mean, we also come up against the Lamborghini Diablo, the Ferrari F40, we have the McLaren, the BMW McLaren. I mean, we have non-Japanese vehicles, and the Porsche, well, the Porsche is an absolute monster, because we see the Porsche, this vehicle produces 843 brake horsepower, not far off the R32's power, and it weighs 1131 kgs. And with this vehicle, it is an absolute monster. Just like the GTR, it is also four-wheel drive, and when I tell you, when this vehicle puts its power down, ho, are you getting thrown into the back of your seat. Now, unlike the GTR, the Porsche is a lot more skittish. It's a lot more sketchy to drive, and you might actually find yourself going sideways, or even find yourself going off circuit, and that's what I actually found myself doing. And look, I lost quite a lot of ground, but the thing is, even with your vehicle going off circuit, you can still make up. You're gonna have more than enough time to just gain back, because that's how fast your vehicle is. Now, the Porsche, as I said, fully upgraded, it's an absolute weapon, because we see this vehicle is setting lap times around the 1 minute 46 second mark, which is it's quite fast. And if we look at the other vehicles in this event that you are going to be competing against on the hardest difficulty, they are going to be setting lap times around the 1 minute 51, 1 minute 52 second mark, which, as long as you have a vehicle that is going faster or setting lap times faster than a 1 minute 50 seconds, well, you are going to be good to go. And that's why with the Porsche, it's just a fantastic vehicle. In my opinion, I might say it's more fun than the GTR because of the fact you can throw it sideways and just have an absolute blast, absolutely ruin the vehicle. Whereas with the GTR, it's a bit more serious, it's a bit more, okay, point shoot, and the Porsche just wants to go sideways, have an absolute blast. But where you really gain a lot of distance over you in second place or the rest of the AI is coming down the main raceway, because we see this vehicle is traveling once again over 310 kilometers per hour before you slam on the brakes. And just the acceleration of this Porsche is so aggressive and it's just so fast. But if we gotta talk about fast car, well, then we have to bring in my third choice, and this is the Mazda RX7 FC. Now this vehicle coming down the straightaway, it is a little bullet, because we see coming down the main straightaway, this vehicle is traveling at about 310, almost 320 kilometers per hour. But the biggest difference between this Mazda and the other two vehicles is that this vehicle actually is engine swap. Yes, this has the engine swap from the Mazda 787B. So this is a R26B swap vehicle, high RPM turbocharger. It produces 989 brake horsepower and weighs 1046 kg. So it's the most powerful, weighs the least, and it's just an absolute weapon. The thing is, with it being rear wheel drive, it is a lot harder to control to set consistent lap times. But the longer you drive it, the more you understand it. You understand, okay, this is where it breaks traction. And also there was some moments under braking where it was a bit sketchy, but the vehicle was so fast. It just put its power down a lot better than I expected, and it just kept chugging and chugging and chugging and getting faster and faster and faster as the lap time was going. And I mean, look, I was averaging lap times around the 1 minute 47 second mark, with my fastest lap time being a 1 minute 46. So look, it's not the fastest of the three vehicles, but when I tell you, it is still an absolute blast to use these vehicles. Because we see, if you are looking for fast lap time, well, you need to go and use the R32 GTR. If you want to use a vehicle that's just purely fun, skids, that's going to leave you a massive smile on your face, jump into the Porsche 959. But if you're looking for a bit more excitement, a bit more sketchiness, well, then you want to jump into the Mazda RX7 and try and complete the event with this vehicle, because it has more than enough power, it handles decently, but because it is rear wheel drive, you might find your rear end stepping out quite a bit. So with that being said, these are my 3 recommendations for this event. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What cars did you use? And with those being said, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.